Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now today's piece of content has kind of been inspired by my daughter Adelheid, or maybe more recommended. She's been a little bit down recently, and I just want to say to Adelheid, you know, I love you so much. You're such a clever, intelligent, strong young lady, and yeah, don't worry about life so much. But on her recommendation, she was talking to me about, well, what are the things that you don't change? And it got me thinking. So with EDC, you know, I have my mobile phone. This is the Google Pixel 6 Pro, whichever one it is. And I probably change this every 2 years. I'm carrying today the CVV Baby Banter, but I only picked this up today. I probably change my knife every other day. My wallet. This is the Pioneer Bifold, which I changed last weekend. But I change my wallets quite regularly. Even my watch. Garmin Instinct 2 Solar. Again, I've had this on, well, probably had this a little bit longer now. Since when did I get this? I got this a few months back. But anyway, what are the things that I actually don't change? What is my real EDC that goes with me no matter what? I got me thinking, what things don't I change? A lot of it generally comes down to jewellery. So this will probably, I mean, this is probably the most personal, this is the most kind of sharing bit of EDC content I've ever made, but I thought I like to embrace my community, and you know, there's certainly nothing here that I wouldn't show anybody else. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around so that we can take a closer look at these items. Whilst I'm doing that, if you do enjoy this content, at any point please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. At this point I'd like to say thank you as well if you do choose to do that. And hey, if you find any of this kind of extra cool, then why don't you have a look at that little new thank you button down there just below the screen and say thanks, maybe buy me a pint. That would be amazing. But for now, let's turn the camera around and take a closer look. Now, as you can probably imagine, jewellery generally is either on my hands, or it's here on my wrists. So rings. So I have my wedding ring, which you can see my married man's shadow. So this was my grandfather's wedding ring. He married my grandma Mal wearing this, and there's a strange story behind this. I assumed, like probably most unmarried men, that if you want to go and buy a wedding ring, you just turn up. They've just got millions of them in different sizes. So I left it a few weeks before I got married, and they all went, no, because you've got large fingers, we need to send off for one. So I was talking to my grandma Mal about it, and she said, well, you know, I still have your granddad's wedding ring. Unfortunately, my granddad's not with us anymore. She said, why don't you wear that? You can, and then once you're married, you can get yourself one, you can have that blessed, and yeah, you're good. So she gave me this, and I got married with it. I went to see her after the wedding at the reception. She had this huge glowing smile on her face. She said, look, your granddad will have wanted you to have it, so look, you keep that. So there's quite a lot of sentimentality behind this, mainly because this has been through 2 weddings. My granddad was with my grandma Mal until he passed away, and I will hopefully, dang it, dropped it, hopefully be with my beautiful wife, the Queen of the Moorlands, until the day that I pass away as well. That's a large plane going over, sorry about that. Randomly, so there's a bit of a theme with this, so I have a habit of picking things up, and when I pick things up, I'll put them on, and I generally don't take them off until they fall off or I lose them. This is a hairband. I picked this up about a week ago. I don't know why. I put it on my baby finger, but now I have a hairband on my baby finger. There's absolutely no sentimentality to this, other than the fact that once I've put something on my hand, or once I've put something somewhere, I generally leave it on there until it falls off. So yeah, I now have this little plastic elastic pinky ring. There you go. So there's been a recent change to these rings. This was bought to me recently. Mrs. Morland had bought me this. I do quite like a thumb ring. I've worn a thumb ring. Here in the UK, it's quite traditional for men to wear a few rings, whether it's a signet ring, old sovereign rings. A thumb ring generally tends to signify like authority or even kind of masculinity. So this is a Damascus steel thumb ring, but it's got this really nice wood on the inside. It's made from, damn it, why am I dropping everything today? It's made from two materials. So the Damascus on the outside really has this nice Damascus finish to it, but then on the inside the wood has been sanded to a very high grit, so that when it's on, it takes a bit of a push, but when it's on, it's lovely and smooth when it's on. So yeah, so that was bought for me recently. It used to be that I had this. So this is a solid silver thumb ring that I had on my thumb for a long time. Again, there's another story behind this. My wife and I were going to Tenerife for 2 weeks with my mum and dad. Unfortunately, a few weeks beforehand, my mum found out that she'd got terminal cervical cancer, which had spread everywhere, and she needed to have a lot of operations. She needed to go through a lot of chemotherapy just to help to extend her life. So Ruth and I, my wife, we went to Tenerife, and whilst we were there, I bought this ring. So this is a ring that I bought, unfortunately, because my mum couldn't be there. But because my mum and dad couldn't be there, my wife and I, let's just say we took full advantage of that 2 weeks, and Ruth came home with a baby growing. So yeah, it's a bit of a dual love and sad occasion with this one. Unfortunately, finding out that my mum was, yeah, as I say, terminal cervical cancer, but out of that came my eldest daughter, Neve. So yeah, so they're my rings. All three of these have some sort of emotional or reason behind them. That's just because I pick things up and I put them on. Now on my wrist, the first little one that I have on here with some, it's not 550, what's the micro paracord? And this one says Daddy on it. This was from my daughters when they were very young. This has kind of grown and evolved over time. All of these smaller ones, these were originally on here, but I seem to pick up or find these extra wooden beads, and this is like a jade bead, so I just put these on. And then the other two that are on here, these are more paracord, which is always good. It's good to have paracord. So this is like a grey 550 paracord, and this a black 550 paracord. But my wife got me these little things. So on my 40th birthday, this one is from my daughters. It is a solid sterling silver ring, and it says 40 and Daddy on there, so that was from my daughters. And then on this one there are some little copper rings, and then again these are sterling silver rings. My wife, well actually I think it was Adelheid, she go, oh, I love you more than Xbox, or I love you more than Spider-Man, and Heidi, she said, I love you more than peas, which was such a Adelheid thing to say. So this one says I love you more than peas, and then this one has both my wife and my initials and a little heart on there as well. Super sentimental, and yeah, I just keep those on my wrist. Now it's nice to have these as little tokens that are from my wife and my daughters, but also having some paracord on you. I think this is about 18 inches, whereas this one is just about 12 inches. Super useful. I haven't had to use them yet, but if I did need to use them, I could just simply take these off and, you know, do whatever it is that I need to. Hi, how are you doing? Now the last little piece, as I'm sat on here on this this little, like a toadstool, like a little Moorlandese dwarf? Gnome. I meant gnome. Sorry if I've offended somebody using the word dwarf. is around my neck, and this is another one of those, I seem to pick something up, I put it on, and it just gets left on there until it comes off. So I have a necklace. This was whilst cleaning out my grandpop's house. So my nan passed away. When did she pass away? 5 or 6 years ago, and my grandpa passed away a couple years back during COVID. It was very sad. Me, my brother, and my father helped to empty the house out before it got sold. And this was on the side. So my nan, she was a very traditional, old, just beautiful lady, absolutely beautiful lady. And she loved the costume jewellery. So this is one of those, I believe it's called Tiger's Eye, which is just a natural stone. So these really super small beads. And yeah, this is part of her costume jewellery. She used to wear this. Yes, it's a lady's necklace, but it doesn't particularly look like a lady's necklace. And at the time I saw this, it reminded me of her. I picked it up, I put it on, and like a lot of things, when I put them on, and I just think, hey, that's going to stay there until it falls off. But again, weirdly knowing that I've got a bit of my granddad with me, I've got a bit of my mum and my daughter with me, I've got a bit of my nan with me as well. They all seem to have that nice sentimental reason to keep them with me. So there you go. Not necessarily items that I can leave any links to, because they're all very personal to me, but in honour of Adelheid and her idea, I thought this was a great opportunity, maybe just for me to share with you guys just a little bit more about me, Randy the Moorlander, 625th crowned king of the Moorlands. Yeah, maybe just a little bit so that you can understand me a little bit more, and sentimentality, or I don't know, whatever you'd call it, but yeah, there you go. They are the genuine, real EDC items that go with me everywhere, and just I don't take off, or yeah, never change. So hey, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I can't leave any links, so there you go. But I'll tell you what I will do. I will leave some of my social media links below as well, so that you can see more from me on social media, and the other stuff that I've got planned and, you know, is in the pipeline as well. But yes, for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Oh, I forgot as well. So, can you consider tattoos? I don't know if you consider tattoos. 2 tattoos, 1 on each shoulder. I have an enso, which is it's part of Japanese calligraphy. It's not actually a letter as such. I like circles. I work in graphic design. I know a circle that is a perfect circle. I can draw a perfect circle. If something isn't a perfect circle and it's just slightly out, I can see it and I can spot it a mile away. It's one of my bugbears in graphic design. So an enso, have a look online, you can see the idea. Mine aren't closed ensos, they are open ensos. I like the iconography, I like the idea of what an open enso represents. So I have 1 on each shoulder, and then on my left side here I have 4 circles that are all interlocked or just slightly away from each other. Yeah, I just have a thing about circles. The last little circle, you can probably see, so it looks like I've got 2 nipples here. I'm not going to show you, you don't need to see it. Maybe you do need to see that. Maybe that's another late night special. But yeah, I have my nipple pierced. I did that when I was young and stupid, and like I say, when I put something on, I tend to leave it on until it falls off. I freaking hope it's not going to fall off, because that would be really weird, or get pulled out from when I was playing rugby. But yeah, I managed to survive all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, I suppose there you go. So, moving on. Not quite level. Camera, microphone. We're good. Yeah, we're good. There's a lady with a dog over there. 2 German Shepherds. Dogs love the Moorlander, especially my ankles. I think she's foraging. I allow people onto my land every now and again. just not with two big German Shepherd dogs. She seems okay. Anyway, where were we? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let's do this properly. Shoot! Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Today's piece of content has been... So there you go. Not really items that you can pick up. I certainly can't leave you any links for any of these at all, but I like I say, it was something that Heidi, or Adelheid, had given me the idea to do, and I just thought I'd share. No.